Welcome back to Crooked History Wessex Edition. In our last episode, King Alfred the Great was killed by his unlanded advisor, Karl the Frugal. In his death, the country was split in two. Alfred II inherited Wessex, while his younger brother, Wulfmare, would become King of England. Alfred II was the opposite of his father. He was lazy, indulgent, and ill-equipped to lead. He and his wife, Gunhilda, would have been content to oversee their duchy for the rest of their lives. Neither were particularly suited to rule. Alfred had a very difficult time holding on to the alliances that his father had negotiated, although there was one ally he could count on: Wulfmare, the Poet King. This is a poem Wulfmare wrote in 928 AD. The original is preserved at Oxford University. It is read by Wulfmare's living descendant, Mary Alapin.
My father's son. My father was a knight of worth. He fought with might and honour on the earth. He served his lord with loyalty. He loved his wife and family. He taught me how to wield a blade. He taught me how to fear the Lord and pray. He taught me how to be a man. He taught me how to understand. In battle bold, he met his end. He left me his ancestral land to tend. He left me his coat of arms to bear. He left me his worldly goods to share. Now I must tread his path aright. Now I must face the world's despite. Now I must prove myself his heir. Now I must make him proud of me. I will not shame my father's name. I will not play a coward's game. I will not break my father's oath. I will not stain my father's cloth. My father's son am I, you see. His blood and legacy have I. His spirit and his grace have I. His honour and his face have I.
Alfred and Gunhilda welcomed a son and successor in 909, Prince Ealdwine Alfredson of Wessex. In March of 910, Alfred arranged a matrilineal marriage with his daughter Wulfgith and Christopher Carling Fürstenberg of modern-day Germany. It was one of the few great decisions of his reign. Eager to make a name for himself, Alfred II declared war on Prince Brochfael II of Wales. It was a one-sided affair. While Alfred was trying to live up to the memory of his father, it should be noted, and was by historians of the era, that his father led men into battle, while Alfred the Lesser sent men off to war under his general Sir Aubrey. His army destroyed the Welsh at the Battle of Dyfed. Brochfael sued for peace in December of the year of our Lord 911. Peace was short-lived. His brother Wulfmare was invaded by the Lothians. Alfred II agreed to join in the war in solidarity with his brother, but Alfred was slow to move and rally his men. His vassals urged him to make haste. His mother, Ealhswith, begged him to help his brother. But Alfred the Lesser always had an excuse. The weather wasn't quite right, or the coffers weren't full enough to support the army. These delays left Wulfmare to fend for himself against the invasion for a number of months. Instead of marching his armies, Alfred busied himself with teaching his son and celebrating the birth of his granddaughter Leofwin. It was at this time that Alfred's niece, Princess Ealhswith Wulfmerdota, was killed by a bucking horse. This tragedy would be disastrous for the Kingdom of England. Sir Aubrey sent a letter to Alfred begging him to form the army, so that they would be able to face the invasion together rather than separate.
To the most illustrious and wise sovereign, I pen this letter with a heart heavy with concerns and a mind full of earnest entreaty. In these trying times, it is my humble duty to bring forth a matter of grave significance to your benevolent attention. We stand at a crossroads, O King, where the tides of fortune converge with the strength of our steadfast allies. Our comrades in arms, noble and valorous, await but the clarion call of unity to march forth in unison. The heavens have blessed us with such allies, their strength and valor akin to a mighty oak, while we, like a vine, may intertwine with them to ascend to even greater heights. As a general who has witnessed the ebb and flow of countless battles, I beseech thee to heed this counsel. The stars of destiny align in our favor, and our allies' martial prowess is a treasure we cannot afford to squander. The realm's security and glory lie just beyond our grasp, awaiting only the sword of our combined might to be seized. I beg of thee, O wise and noble King, to summon our banners, to unite our forces with our allies, and to carve our names upon the annals of history as conquerors of the highest order. Let us seize this moment, for the fates seldom offer such opportunities twice. With unwavering loyalty and devotion, Sir Aubrey, General of the Army of Wessex.
In November, Alfred finally raised his army. In January of 913, the army of Wessex met a strong force at the Battle of Coventry. Wessex had finally answered the call. That victory was enough to make petty King Valoran the Compassionate evacuate his support for the Lothian invasion. Alfred, a cautious man, pulled his men back to regroup during the summer, again leaving Wulfmare fending for himself. By October, Alfred allowed Aubrey to lead the men back into battle. But it was too late. Wulfmare was killed in battle, Princess Edgifu Wulfmare Dota. Wulfmare's youngest daughter would never forgive her uncle.
My dearest uncle, King Alfred the Lesser. I hope this letter finds you in health, though my own heart is heavy as I put quill to parchment. I feel compelled to address a matter that gnaws at the very roots of our familial bond and our shared duty to our bloodline. In the shadows of our history, as we reflect upon the loss of my father, your brother, there exists a spectre of regret. It is with a heavy heart that I pen these words, not as an accusation, but as a plea for understanding. The winds of time have whispered tales of a hesitancy in action when the storm of adversity assailed our kin. I dare not harbour resentment, for the weight of such a charge is too heavy for my soul to bear. Yet I must beseech thee, dear uncle, to examine thy heart and conscience. Did the hour not call for swifter action to safeguard my father, your own brother, from the perils that befell him? We, who are bound by the ties of blood and loyalty, owe it to our shared legacy to ensure the safety and honour of our kin. In the echoes of history, let us not be remembered for indecision, but for valour and unwavering protection of our own. May this missive find you in a spirit of reflection and, perchance, inspire future actions that protect the bonds of our family and the legacy of our blood. Yours with love, though heavy-hearted, Princess Edgifu.
Many historians insist that this letter was more than just a little sarcastic. In an odd twist of irony, Alfred inherited the Kingdom of England, because Wulfmare insisted that his brother take over in the event of his death through the Saxon elective process. For better or worse, Wessex was once again united. Sir Aubrey led the army of Wessex against the Northmen at the Battle of North Riding in 914. He was outnumbered, but he was the superior general on that day. Not only did he decimate the superior force with incredible flanking manoeuvres, he also captured their leader, Jarl Gunnar of Dice. Aubrey was outnumbered almost 3-1. His tactics are still taught in war colleges throughout England. As soon as the wounded were tended to, Aubrey led his men on a campaign into Lothian itself, laying siege to Edinburgh. Alfred the Great's one-time ally turned on Wessex after the invasion into Lothian territory. Alba joined the war in 914 against Wessex. However, Alfred the Lesser's new ally Germany joined to counter the imbalance. In 907, Aubrey again led his army, this time against Alba. He defeated a much larger force, but it was a high price to pay. Sir Aubrey would die from wounds sustained in the Battle of West Riding. As if that wasn't devastating enough, the king's mother died on April 4th of 917. Her daughter Violet thought it was from a broken heart after the loss of her youngest son and her soulmate Alfred. She left him the pressed orchid that his father had given her while they were still courting. Some have suggested that this was her way of reminding her son of the importance of family. It was at this point that Alfred the Lesser began to drink. The Lothian army, with the assistance of Alba, were able to force Alfred the Lesser to accept a peace in December of 917. The kingdom was again at peace for a while. Thank you for watching Crooked History Wessex Edition. Next week we take a deeper look at Alfred II's mediocre reign. To be fair, he wasn't a horrible king, but in the shadow of his father, the people were ready to move on.